last minute. I always like the silent countdown to stuff.
5, 4, 3. Red light turns on.
It always made it seem like more official.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a real production. Like everyone quiet on the set.
It's the way the pros do it.
Yeah. Do they still do it?
Yeah.
Is that how they did it at
WFTV?
Yeah. That's comforting to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're sipping on. Is this the Bullet?
This is the Bullet.
All right. Well, cheers. And cheers to you guys for joining us once again.
Bullet Bourbon.
Well, I mean, if you watched last week's episode, I think maybe like the last 30 minutes it's more like the last 15 minutes is cut off just because of technology. I don't have any other reason.
Yeah.
It's just all of this is trial and error.
Yeah.
Just figuring this shit out.
More reasons we need to set up our Patreon.
Yeah.
So people can pay for us to have better technology.
There you go. Now that right there is an idea worth exploring.
Are you guys listening out there?
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Fees are coming. Not hidden fees. They're coming directly at you. The contract you signed to consuming this podcast. Terms and services. You want to drink along? Well, it's gonna
cost you a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you.
We're worth it.
I think so. I think this is grade A content. Whether you get 30 minutes of the video, 45 minutes of the video, or an hour.
Well, they're in complete control of that, though, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If they want better video production, you got to pay a little bit.
You got to pay for it.
That's all I'm saying.
You know, we'll call it One Beer in Premium.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Top shelf.
Oh, and then we only drink the finest of the... Like, we should downgrade the show.
Yeah. We just only drink light beer now.
Yeah.
And seltzer.
And then if you want craft beer, if you want that top shelf stuff, well, there is One Beer in Premium.
Sorry. Yeah.
You can pay for it.
Let's get really into reviewing water.
All right. Well, we're going to be drinking both of these things right now. Because I'm not going to down this.
No. This is
respect.
Yeah, this is a supplement. The whiskey's a supplement for the fact that we have a smaller bottle today to share.
And in fact, that smaller bottle was a gift.
It was
from Redlight.
Yes, our dear friends.
Local brewery, local
beer parlor.
Fantastic. I mean, consistently voted one of, if not number one, the best beer bar in the state.
One of the best in the country.
That's right. And that's no small shit.
No.
So tell us about it, because they've kind of advertised it a little while back.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty recent release. This guy's called the Sour Plum Fairy. Is a barrel-aged sour plum ale with cinnamon. So it's sort of a seasonal thing. It's a 6% ABV. As we said before, brewed and bottled by Redlight Bar and Brewery in Orlando, Florida. And there's a quote here. It says, "Papa, why don't you ever win anything?" Which is Brent's daughter while watching the GABF results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the mouth of babes.
Yes.
As they say. And that was given to you.
Yes.
For your birthday.
For being old. Yes.
Did we talk about your birthday last week?
Yeah. Well, that's the entire reason why you got me that bottle we had. Yes,
that's right. We talked about that. Okay, so over the weekend, we actually celebrated your birthday.
That's right.
And we'll get into that as soon as we crack open that beer. So, without further ado, my name is Marco Dupa. That guy right there is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
And this is the One Beer In Podcast. Bam. I said bam. What are you doing? See, you don't deserve it.
Ah, there we go.
What is that in there?
It's cork.
They put a cork and...
Yeah. Double protection, baby. Wrap it up.
Is that...
No, but I've seen it before. I think when I
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
There we go.
I wasn't sure if you'd be able to handle it. Oof. That is a sour. That's a sour plum fairy. That is a sour plum fairy. Well, while he pours that sour plum, I'd like to reiterate that this is the One Beer In Podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and we see where that one brew takes us. This is episode 290.
Wow.
We are creeping on that 300. We got to think about what we're going to do.
I know. We got to do something for it.
10 weeks. So we have a little bit of time, but with us, we got to plan something like, big next week so that we know that we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And be on it.
Yeah.
So
we're not good at consistency.
No.
We realize that, folks. Sorry.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you just kind of realize about yourself and
do nothing about.
Yeah.
Just accept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then hate yourself the week prior to the thing that should have been done.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the thing and hate yourself while you're doing it, telling yourself, I could have just done this last week. Or should have just done this last week. Why didn't we do this 2 weeks ago?
Are we still talking about the podcast?
Yeah. What else would we be talking about?
Just checking.
Let's chase the sour plum.
Let's chase it.
Let's chase. I'm not drunk, guys.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not.
I am not. Oh, there we go. It's like coffee.
Oh.
That goes places.
Oh my. That goes places. Like down my gullet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Well, so I have a nice little framing there for the people at home.
Beautiful.
Let's just move that right there. Sexy. So yeah, I mean, your birthday. It was your birthday over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One of those years where your birthday's on a Saturday. You gotta love that.
Yeah, especially in 2020.
Yeah.
So happy.
All of the things that you can do.
Yeah.
Well, my birthday was on a Wednesday in July.
That's fine.
When the whole thing was, everyone was like, "Is this the end of the world?"
And you had COVID at the time.
And I had COVID at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, everybody. This whole year, everyone's birthday from March to now has sucked.
If you're a responsible adult, yeah.
I mean, honestly, even if you're not a responsible adult, you still
kind of have to pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you're a full-on jerk off, there's still, most places are like, you got to wear a mask, you got to be socially distanced.
Right, yeah. That's true.
So even if you wanted to be a dick about it, there's a lot of places. Well, then again, there are a lot of places that are just like, are you wearing a mask? Is that a mask? It's fishnet. That's covering
fine.
your face.
It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, here downtown, pretty iconic picture now at this point of downtown on a
Halloween. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I still can't believe it. I mean, I can, but then I can't. Like part of me,
like wearing a mask over your eyes count? Because I'm a Ninja Turtle.
I wore a mask over my head, sir. That's a hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
It's a head mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. So it's not impossible if you want to go out like that.
Or I mean, you could just go anywhere in probably North Florida or any of the more country neighborhoods.
Yeah.
In Central Florida.
Yeah.
Any of those bars probably don't care.
I mean, there's one bar on the coast that was kicking people out for wearing masks. I don't know if you read about this, but the guy was like, I mean, obviously anti-mask, pro-Trump, and he was like, look, we're not going to deal with this shit anymore. Mm-hmm. So if you bring that political BS in here, we're going to kick your ass out.
Okay.
And he was in a county where he could do that.
He could do it, yeah.
At the time, he was in one of the, because DeSantis is a dumbass. And he didn't. I was. You know what? I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want don't do it. But
Yeah.
let's talk about good things. Your birthday. It
Okay.
was a nice day, a celebratory day. We hung out at Redlight.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun. Obviously, where we got the beer.
Right.
They came out and they hooked that up.
Yeah.
Without prompting, they were just like, you weren't here. You weren't there. We got there before you. Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And the bartender came out and she's like, Adam's, he's a pretty, he's like really sexy. And like, we've seen him growing his hair out and we're just like, I everyone in the back was like, this is the only way that we can repay him for everything that he's done for us.
That's all I said.
I don't know what to do.
So no, but seriously, they were like, he's a big supporter of the bar. He's obviously a regular, and we thought this was a nice way to repay.
That's super nice, super surprising because honestly, I haven't really like, at if you're a regular at most bars, usually have a rapport with all the staff, and you know each other by name, and it's all that kind of stuff. That hasn't really been the case for me because usually when I'm there, I'm pretty reclusive. I'll, hang out with my friends and stuff like that. But it's just really surprising and nice and really heartwarming that they do notice that I have been there a long time and have shown up a lot.
Yeah.
I would love to change that red light. So maybe we can talk sometime.
Yeah. You
Because
just talk to the entire bar.
I would love to. I'd stand outside with a radio over my head.
Come on, say anything.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it's super heartwarming. I appreciate it. It was really like a shining moment of my birthday to see that I was appreciated there.
Yeah.
So very, very much appreciated. Mm-hmm. Red light. Cheers to you.
Cheers. And drank a lot there.
Oh yeah.
Drank a lot there. Bao buns.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
Loaded up on King Bao.
Mm-hmm. Then hit another local favorite, Sideward. We've featured them a ton.
Yep.
On this show, and they hooked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it was nice. It was just a nice. I'm speaking for you. It was beautiful.
I'm glad you had a good time.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
No, I had a good time. I don't know how you felt.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really good. Really my speed, just kind of going with the flow. Not this, I always hate when there's too many plans or plans are too set in stone,
mm-hmm.
and you feel the need, like you have to do things at a certain time
mm-hmm.
and go to a certain place. And like, I got reservations here and I have to, run at 5:55 or else I'm not going to make it in time.
Right.
I hate that stress, especially on my birthday. Like for me, it's just more of a thing of let's get the people to hang out and we'll figure it out along the way. And that's what happened.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I planners, man.
Too much.
There's pros and cons to planners, right? Planners get shit done.
Mm-hmm.
They usually like pick some. Really...
You mean like the notebooks?
Yeah, and that's what I use.
Yeah,
and that's
planner.
That's the only way. If I actually used a planner, I don't know if my life would be any different. If I had the brain wiring to use a planner,
right,
then I would be a completely different person.
I think sometimes about myself about if I would be any different if I journaled every day. Because my wiring tells me journaling's stupid. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Why are you so like self-important that you're going to write down your thoughts of the day every day? That's really dumb. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes, what if I went against that initial knee-jerk reaction one day? And I have before. I have as like a teenager written in a journal, just because I was told it was a thing to do.
Yeah.
Never stuck, obviously. But what if I really committed to doing something that I naturally do not want to do and just stuck with it? How would that change me as a person?
It's only one way to find out.
I don't want to.
Do you think that it's the not wanting to do it, not feeling like doing it because of the work itself, or what that work actually entails?
I think it's what it entails. And I'm also wildly inconsistent as a person.
Yeah.
So being committed to doing something every day is too much.
Yeah. You know, 3 weeks later, you're like, hey, journal, me again. Sorry.
Here we are.
So let me catch you up on a few things. That's what your journaling would be, is just catching up every 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, here's what I did in these. I'm a different person.
Yeah, it's like writing letters to your sweetheart.
Yeah.
From Japan in
Or
World War II.
Your past self, because it would be just like, hey, let's catch up.
That's an interesting question. Like, if you do journal, do you write to yourself, or do you write to like the journal itself as like a void to speak into?
I don't. When I would do it, it would be literally like.
Or is it like telling your stories, like writing a memoir and saying like, today I learned ba 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 ba, and Jessica was such a bitch. You know, like
Jessica's always a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
My
Sorry, Jessica. It's true.
Don't be a Jessica.
No,
you know?
never.
If your name's Jessica, change it. Use your middle name.
Which is Marie. It has to be Marie.
And an even bigger bitch, right? It's like, if you're just stuck.
I feel like Marie is always an aunt or a grandma at this point.
Yeah. It's an old name.
Marie's going the way of Ruth.
Yeah. Yeah. How many Ruths do you know? I'd like to meet a Ruth.
Yeah.
I think when I would do it, it would be like it was like thought bubbles, more so than it wasn't. They were like not even complete, I guess, ideas, so much as needing to organize everything that's going on. So
anger, bacon, fortress.
They were sentences,
okay.
At least. I was angry in the bacon fortress.
So Jackson Pollock just with words. Cactus tree.
No, they would be like, why am I doing this? You know?
Yeah.
Is this something that I want to be doing? How does this make me feel?
And then it just ends without answering those questions.
It's just like a dot, but the dots like kind of go down the page as if like I fucking passed out while I was doing it.
Arrow to the next page, and then it doesn't pick up the next morning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd like to do the same thing. I'd like to be more consistent. I think any kind of consistency. I mean, I just wish I want more consistency other than just fucking waking up every day and going to work.
Yeah. The consistency of waking up and brushing your teeth every day.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Like, that's the only thing that I'm good at.
Yeah.
As far as consistency is concerned, that's the only thing that I can fucking do every day.
It's just so frustrating because I know we've even gone over it in this podcast. How frustrating it is to be an inconsistent person trying to be consistent and failing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so defeating and it sucks. And that's what makes you avoid, doing things consistently that are good for you. So yeah, I mean, like, I'd love to consistently wake up at 6 a.m. and go for a jog every day, Yeah. But would I actually do it? I don't think so. I mean, maybe I would do it for like a week and then day 4 or 5 be like, you don't have to today,
I think the philosophy of will I do that also is self-defeating enough to stop you from doing anything.
Of course. That's the thing that's stopping me from even trying.
Yeah.
And not trying is the biggest problem here.
And not trying and then telling yourself, like, what's the point of trying? Like,
right.
You're not going to do it, so why even do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up not even attempting to be consistent in something that could be good for you.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
I've been consistent with playing the guitar so far.
That's good. That's good. It's always good. It's always good. It's always easier to be consistent when you're excited about something new.
Yeah. That's true.
The hard part is doing it when you're kind of bored of it, or like you hit a stumbling block, or you're just not feeling like you're progressing as much as you did before.
Yeah, you've plateaued.
Right. Staying consistent at that point is truly a feat. But I hope you stick with it because it's a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, man. I don't know if I should even talk about this.
Well, you definitely have to now.
I don't know. I don't know if I should commit it. If I should commit to this idea.
Okay.
I've just been really bored with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm adjusting. I've just been really bored with it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as my own thing.
Right.
Like it just I don't know. It's not I think like learning the guitar has been something that has been like challenging, and there seems to be a thing to reach out for.
Mm-hmm.
Versus I've been just thinking about like I've committed so much time and energy to getting good at rapping.
Yeah.
And that being the only thing. And then, you know, being good at it, but then also it's just like, all right, where do I go from here?
Mm-hmm.
You know, plateauing basically. I've
Right.
plateaued.
Yeah.
And it's just like I know that I could commit. I could make something. I could make a whole project, and I think it would be good. And people who have listened to my past projects have told me that they're good. But then it's like, all right, maybe it's the fact that like I've just kind of hit a ceiling as far as exposure and success level, and that has kind of created this feeling of apathy when it comes to like. It's not challenging anymore. So if it's not challenging and it's not reaping any rewards, then it's like, well, why am I doing this?
Yeah, you're feeling stagnant and
very stagnant.
Yeah.
And then looking around at the environment of hip hop, save for a select few,
Right.
You're just like every time you talk to somebody about rap, they want to talk about just. I mean, I see the guys who are like, I don't want to come off like a fucking hater, but that's the only way this is gonna come off. I'm gonna come off like a fucking old, fucking traditionalist who only listens to music from '95, which isn't the case. But like, there's no other way for this to sound.
Yeah.
Other than like it just like what these guys are doing. Oh, you know what? I think maybe it's the conversation that the Young Thug thing.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of really just being irritated with every guy that purports to make hip hop music, because all of them are like that.
Yeah.
Sorry if that's a generalization, but most of them have that attitude.
Yeah. Well, and the argument is that Young Thug in a interview or podcast
He was
actually
on T.I.'s podcast
with T.I. Apparently said that he doesn't mess with Andre 3000.
He just doesn't pay. He said he doesn't pay attention to him. Like he couldn't recite any of his songs.
He doesn't listen to him.
Yeah.
And he said that he works with Elton John instead or something. Right?
Yeah, which is not the Elton John part, but the Andre part. It's just a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
And he said, I guess it stems from him feeling slighted because, 3 Stacks didn't pick up the phone when Young Thug called. Like he had to like go through different avenues to get to him. And then at that point he was like, well, fine. I mean, I don't even want to do the song. And now his attitude is, I don't even really fuck with him like that. And, I don't really pay attention to him. And it's like, look, I know your feelings are hurt because you're sensitive.
Right.
All artists are sensitive.
Of course.
And I know that your feelings are hurt that your hero didn't pay. Daddy didn't fucking want to play catch.
Pick up the phone.
But don't sit up here and pretend as if your entire it's obvious. First of all, there's evidence of him already saying how much he reveres Andre 3000. There's pictures of him wearing Outkast merch, and there's interviews of Andre 3000 saying how much he appreciates Young Thug's music and Young Thug as a personality in hip hop. So it's just like, what is the point of this? What is the point of this bravado? And and obviously I understand that it's hip hop, but like some things, saying that you're better than Andre 3000 to me would go down better than acting as if you don't listen to Outkast or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
if
mean,
you were to be like, yeah, 3 Stacks is cool and everything, but like I'm the next level, I would be like, you're a jackass. But it would at least make sense. But to pretend like you're from Atlanta, you're gonna sit here and act like you. Come on, bro.
It's because it's intellectually dishonest.
Exactly.
If you're at least honest about it, I mean, especially nowadays, I feel like hip hop has taken a turn where, you know, honesty has always mattered, at least the appearance of honesty, in your, you know, kayfabe kind of, you know, wrestling persona, or in your raps or whatever. It has to be authentic, right? Authenticity has always been key. But I feel like recently, especially, there's been a real turn for emotional honesty too.
Yeah.
In a lot of hip hop music, it's no longer like not cool to like talk about your feelings a lot of the times. So I feel like that's a big reason why this especially comes out as really phony.
Yeah.
And has been rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. Because I mean, for me, speaking from my perspective, because I know there are a lot of people on the internet who are completely backing Young Thug and saying, yeah, 100%, you know, no way, Andre 3000 sucks.
Yeah, I've seen that take.
But if he just, again, assuming this is the truth, if he just said, look, I used to love him as a kid, but, you know, frankly, he didn't pick up the phone. So I lost respect for him.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That perspective, that's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It's this and they're I don't know. I guess it's just this generation.
These damn kids.
These damn kids. I mean, I posed that question on Twitter because, you know, the guitarist thing is obviously informed by the fact that that's all I've been watching on YouTube is just a bunch of different guitarists. But like, you watch them talk about playing the guitar, and they're always talking about, yeah, B.B. King did it this way, Jimmy did it like this,
yeah,
Van Halen did this. Like, they're always looking backwards and going, this is where I got this from.
Yeah. And
this is how I've innovated on that.
And that's why, like, an artist like John Mayer can be maybe the greatest living blues guitarist and not get shit for it for being a white guy.
Right.
It's because he's only been reverential to the originals,
all
the
the
people
time.
He's looked up to.
He's never made it about himself.
Yeah.
It's always been, well, I stole that thing, I learned that thing, and I put it all together. And
This is my
why.
spin on it. And
yeah. And I just don't know why. I just can never wrap my head around why rappers can't do that. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Again, like we were talking about. I mean, if somebody said that you sounded like one of your peers and you were like, fuck that guy, I never listened to him, even if you do, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's competition, and you're like, you don't want to sound like you're ripping off a dude who's like just put out an album or whatever. I get that, but I mean, dude, I rip off Mos Def. I rip off. I have done the guy that I rip off the most, which maybe I don't know if they listen to my music, maybe they do or don't pick up on this. The guy that I rip off the most is Fonte from Little Brother. I steal not the words, but whole rhyme schemes. I just do that sometimes, where I'm like, the way that he did that, the way that he delayed the rhyme, brought it back 2 bars, like I just steal the technique.
Rap
completely.
police are on the way, Marco.
And like, I'll openly admit that, because it's like, I feel like if you're somebody if you're trying to be the best, or the best version of yourself when it comes to being creative, I mean, it's 2020. There's not going to be immaculate inspiration. It's not just going to
out of nowhere.
You're going to take it from other things.
You're not born on a deserted island.
Right. Not hearing any music and then just
invent hip hop.
Right. So there's no way that you're not stealing from the people before you.
And I think it's totally possible in hip hop. You've seen it as early as, Jay-Z talking about, all of his influences, and even his at the time current day influences with like Biggie. Like there didn't seem to be any ill will or I guess negative competition within that. It's okay if the competition is like on the up and up, and like we're just trying to out rap each other and trying to prove that we're the better artists, but it doesn't have to be this thing of like a pissing match.
Yeah.
Where people's feelings are getting hurt and you have to lie about it because you don't want to seem like, you're hurt that this person is, an influence of yours, whether subconsciously or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's totally possible.
It's definitely possible. I mean, even rappers like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or whatever, they're definitely guys who, if they're asked, they'll talk about their influences and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. These younger guys, I don't know. They just lack respect.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you what. They just lack respect. And, whatever. It's I don't know. I guess it's more I'm just fucking resentful of artists like that who are simultaneously bigger than the artists that they're ripping off, and then pretending like they've never heard of them.
Yeah.
It makes me really resentful. It makes me just like not want to support those artists. just I don't know. And then it sours hip hop, because like the guys that I listen to now are all either my age or older than me.
Yeah.
And it's just really hard to support any of these younger guys because they make it really. It's not the music that they're putting out; it's the attitude behind it. It's the and they're all just so full of shit. Like what we were talking about before about authenticity, and it's like you don't even have to be. You don't have to live your raps, although some of them are living them to ill effects.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But it's just like it. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles. It's just I don't know. I just really. I think other than this podcast, I'm just not able to. I'm not able to like get the creativity out, and so I'm like. It's all just bubbling.
You're trying to find new avenues to express yourself creatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the guitar is like, it's helping, but it's all, I don't know. I'm just a bundle of frustration when it comes to like all of this shit.
Yeah. Well, that's usually right about the moment that there's a breakthrough creatively for you, and you find the right target to focus on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break through and target a human being.
Yeah.
And fucking break them.
Okay.
Then go to jail for murder.
Well,
murder.
If anyone near you dies in the coming months, we know where to look.
Evidence of murder. Let's move on. I feel like I'm gonna take this into a dark place.
Like we haven't already.
No, it can get darker.
We just talked about murder.
It can get darker.
Okay.
So let's go somewhere else. Well, you just got Call of Duty.
I did.
On the PS5.
Yes.
So.
Thank you for letting me flex.
Give it to him just one time. Just. You're a jabroni, Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have it for the PS4. We talked about it a little bit last week. People like complaining about this was again news to me.
Right.
That it was getting middling to good reviews, but not like great reviews.
Yeah.
The way that Call of Duty games usually come out, and who knows if they're legit reviews, but I think they're legit reviews.
I do too. I never believed that.
But this one, not as good.
Yeah, I mean, especially compared to what Modern Warfare got, the most recent one. Well, other than literally the most recent one.
Yeah.
Black Ops, but Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see a lot of the major video game review sites giving it, I mean, like 7s.
Yeah.
Some lower. It's always hard to tell because they tend to break up their reviews nowadays for Call of Duty because they, especially Black Ops now has the campaign mode, multiplayer, zombies.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there'll be major changes to Warzone.
Yeah.
So they've had to break it up into multiple reviews, which makes it kind of hard to tabulate. I think IGN has like a ultimate final review, but either way, it's been getting pretty middling reviews compared to what it tends to get.
Well, you've been able to get your hands on it.
Yep.
When did you get it?
I got it
I
earlier.
guess how long have you been playing? Like, how many hours do you think you've sunk into it?
Oh, not many at all. I think I've gotten, total maybe like 3 hours, 3 to 4. Still very early on.
I think that's good enough for like a one listen review.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get the feel of it. You get you taste it.
I guess I have enough for at least a like hands-on preview.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I focused on the campaign, which came in 3 separate downloadable packages. I was so pissed off because they give you the option of what to download first, right? Mm-hmm. They had between zombies, multiplayer, and campaign.
Right.
For some reason, I said, let me try to do this the way that all the cool kids do it nowadays. Let me download multiplayer first. While multiplayer's loading, while I'm playing multiplayer, I can download the campaign. Right. So I did that, and I suck. Really bad at it. Yeah. They stripped away a lot of the stuff that I was used to from Modern Warfare. Yeah. And I suck. I'm really bad at the game.
Yeah.
So after maybe 3 rounds, I was like, I'm gonna give this a break. And I'm gonna play the campaign like I normally do, and then get back into multiplayer once I'm more acclimated to the systems and the guns and know what I like.
Yeah.
I played long enough that I was able to unlock my create a class. That was it.
Yeah.
So then I download what I think is the full campaign. Go into it, play the first mission. Has a really interesting, unique way of like level select, essentially, where you're in this like secret safe house, and you go up to a bulletin board that has evidence that you're collecting on it. And from there, you can choose which missions to go on or just like continue the campaign. But there are also like side missions now that you can play.
Really?
Yeah, and those are dictated by evidence that you find in the campaign.
Okay.
Collectibles, essentially. If you collect all the collectibles, it makes it easier for you to decrypt these files and other things, right?
Okay.
So once you're able to decrypt the thing, then you can go on the side mission. And you unlock missions that way, side missions, which is really cool.
Okay.
Because it's not like... It's actually like a puzzle. Like you have to figure things out and use logic. And definitely don't look it up online. It's not what you do.
And you didn't do that?
No.
No.
Why would you?
You would never.
No. Silly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did, but it only helps so much, and I'm glad that it only helps so much because really the puzzle, at least the first puzzle I played here, isn't like a set thing. It changes for everybody's game.
Yeah. So
it's like you really have to it's like a logic test that you have to pass throughout. You can understand the rules, but you still have to figure it out on yourself.
Okay.
So I just found that like a really cool little detail. In between campaign stories, you can hang out in that base, and there's like secret things to find there, or the safe house, I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I think it was World War II did that.
Yeah.
They had like a hub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very similar to that. But in this one, you can talk to your fellow spies in there and like get more insight on their characters, and it's just fun little narrative stuff like that kind of makes a difference in playing a Call of Duty game.
Okay.
So I like that a lot. So far the story itself is like okay. It's interesting. It's it's blockbuster spy fodder basically. I'm getting kind of tired of the setup of Call of Duty games where it zooms in on a map and you have voiceover.
Yeah.
And it goes over the quick run up of story, objective, blah 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 blah, and then you get zoomed into the game. Like I'm kind of over that.
Yeah. And then even the missions are just like point A, B, C, D,
right.
Kill as many people as you can as you make your way to just the next part of the level.
And they subvert that a little bit. There's a bit of like a stealth mission type scenario within there, which is neat.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
They've never done that before. But
I know. But this one, it feels a little more well built out than I think it has in a long time.
Yeah.
Just from the nature of it being this covert ops sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I think it's stuck in its trappings of Call of Duty, where it is what it is, but it's still fun. Like I'm having a good time playing it. So far I would recommend it, at least for the campaign.
You create your own character, right? Sort of.
Yeah, which is cool in some aspects and also kind of a detriment to the story in others.
Yeah.
Because you're playing again as a silent protagonist.
I hate games like that.
Yeah. You're no longer Mason like you were in the other Black Ops games.
Yeah.
Though he is there. He is his own separate side character that you can see.
Yeah. Along
with Woods. They're both there. But yeah, at the very beginning of the game, you build out your character in almost RPG way, where you pick your name, you pick your essentially what ends up being your bonuses for your character, which is set up as like your psych eval. So like you choose what your defectiveness is, and that indicates whether you'll have like faster reload or more health or
slower because he just has a really big dick.
Right.
That's his defect.
Exactly. Have you seen my medical records? But yeah, that part's cool. I like that. I like that your character's kind of custom to how you want to play. So you choose 2 perks, and then you choose a background as well. Whether you were, I think, Special Forces, MI6, or former KGB.
Okay.
Which gives you some kind of difference. I don't remember exactly. But you get that option too. And I think that's really all that really changes things as far as your gameplay and story. But it's weird to interact with because there are multiple times where you have like a dialogue tree that you can choose different things to say.
Yeah.
But it's weird in 2020 to do that and not hear a voice say what you're picking.
And how much does your responses change the story?
I don't think it really does at all. Now there is a moment, I'm not going to ruin anything, but there's a moment in the so far in the that covert operation, the kind of spy mission, that you have a bonus objective in which you can kill somebody, you can set them free, or you can just leave them.
Yeah, and they did that in in Modern Warfare too.
Right.
There's a part in the game where basically the same thing. Like you're torturing him for information, and then you can kill him on the spot, or you can leave him. Excuse me, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's lazy.
Yeah. It doesn't, at least so far, again, because I'm not super deep into the campaign. So it very well could all pay off in the end, but it doesn't feel like it's really changing much.
No.
But like Black Ops 3 is famous for having multiple endings and stuff like that. So maybe that's the case here. I haven't really looked up, if there's multiple threads.
Yeah.
So there very well may be, but it just doesn't really feel like it yet. We'll see. But, I think one of the bigger good things that they've done with this Black Ops is having you be more attentive to those bonus objectives in your missions. Just because like the collectibles matter now, because they help you find those side missions and stuff like that, and decrypt things, which is cool.
So, do you think that the reviews are justified so far?
So far, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, like, thus far in the campaign, I like it. I don't love it. So yeah, I mean, I would think
that sounds like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'd probably give it about a 7.5 maybe.
Yeah.
So like I'm warm to it. I'm having a good time. I'm not really disappointed, but it's just not really going above and beyond for me.
The thing is, it's half-assed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be, if Call of Duty is famous for the most part just being a linear story, and you're just along for the ride, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You do some creative things with it. You have some twists and turns or whatever, but it's mostly just playing a movie.
Yeah.
Right? Fine. And if you can make the presentation beautiful, which is what they usually do. So when you're playing a game like Last of Us or Uncharted, you're pretty much along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like, for better or for worse.
Right.
Right? But then if you turn around and you're like, you're not going to be the guy that you were used to. You're going to be your own guy. Mm-hmm. And you can pick your own gender.
Right.
That was the whole thing, and it probably doesn't mean much to the game.
No, it means 0%.
And then you're a silent protagonist. You have these weak-ass dialogue trees. It's just like, it's half-assed. It's like, go the full Monty or don't. Like, be Mass Effect or don't.
Right.
Like, doing this in-between thing where your choices are pretty much inconsequential makes it like, it feels like more work without the payoff. Mm-hmm. In Mass Effect or in other games where you kind of decide how you want your character to live in this world, the payoff is you have to live with the consequences of your actions.
You're role playing.
Right. And that's dope. Even if you can decide, I'm going to be a fucking asshole and every response is going to be as mean as possible. And then you get to live with that fact. Or you could be a super good guy and live with that fact. And that's what's dope about games like that. Mm-hmm. But when you go half-ass and it's just like, you can have like a sort of mean response or don't answer at all and still continue the story without them acknowledging your silence. It's shit like that where it's like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. I think you bring up a good point, but I feel like there's a way to do a little bit of both. And I think the game that did it best for me most recently that comes to mind is Red Dead 2.
I haven't beat Red Dead, so...
Okay.
I've actually been trying to find it somewhere around my fucking house.
Collected dust that much.
Red Dead and Kingdom Hearts are in... Dude, I tried to...
They're in a box somewhere?
Yeah, they're in a fucking box somewhere. They're in a closet, just thrown to the back of the fucking... Where the rest of my shit is. Like my life, just thrown to the back of the closet. Mm-hmm. Dude, I tried to come with another light so that we could fix the lighting. But the box... There's like... a living room's worth of things in front of the box that I have to now... It's a weekend project.
It's the Indiana Jones warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All these tubs and all. It just feels like they're lining the walls with things. So, yeah, that's going to be a weekend thing where I have to go through, empty the entire closet out, find all my stuff, grab the most important things. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that into the...
It's fine.
That's my fault.
But, okay, so... Good to know. Without spoiling anything about Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
You are playing as a character, right? You're going along for the ride. Mm-hmm. Like, no pun intended. You have this character, but you also have some agency in who he is.
Yeah.
As far as, like, some agency. You don't have full agency. You can't be an all-out good guy because you're part of this bandit group who does bad things and murders people, right? So you have to play within those parameters, but they give you a lot of leeway to be like, I am a bad guy who also is trying to be better.
Yeah.
Or I'm a bad guy who's unrepentant and am just out for myself.
I'm
right?
a bad guy, and it's awesome being
Right.
a bad guy.
Exactly. So like that, I think, is a good way to kind of straddle that line of having a narrative that you're trying to stick to as a developer, and also giving player agency to the people.
Yeah.
So I would love a Call of Duty that this was a perfect opportunity to do something like that, where we're talking the Cold War, we're talking operations that we as civilians shouldn't know about anyway, so you can ham it up as much as you want and say like, yeah, there was some Soviet activity here. We heard a rumor that CIA agents were in Ukraine at this time, so let's do something around that and just have full play with whatever you want to do. But instead I feel like they stuck too much to, you're going to play this story and it's just going to be this story. You can change the window dressing if you'd like, but at the end of the day it's just going to be this, which is disappointing because it really could have been so much more. And like like I said before though, like even Black Ops 3 did a really good job of giving you a lot of options as far as kill this guy or don't. That's going to change the end of the game. So I'm not far enough in to know if that's also at play here or not, but it doesn't feel like it really is thus far. We'll see.
So didn't get far enough into the campaign, and then on multiplayer, you're trash.
Yeah.
So
but I will say, one of the main reasons why I got the game, and people are going to laugh at me about this, but I want to see how them triggers felt. And I'll tell you, boy howdy, them triggers feel pretty good. Yeah, it's really cool. It's
do you
very,
have
very
your
cool.
fingers? Do they get exhausted?
No. It really isn't. I was surprised by how much it didn't exhaust my fingers in the way I expected it to after playing Astro's Playroom as much as I did. It really doesn't affect it that much, but it does it enough that you can actually you get immersed more with that. Yeah. And they do. There's a slight spoilers for like the nature of a mission, but you get to fly a helicopter at one point. Yeah. And feeling the helicopter like rotors like in your hands is so cool.
That is
so cool.
That is dope.
And then like firing a minigun, you feel like a little bit of like tension.
Okay, I think we're good. I think that was just the headphones.
Okay. Firing a minigun, like you feel a little bit of like tension before the pull, but once it pulls, it lets go all the way, so it goes like, and it just it feels awesome. It feels nice. It's nice.
That's nice.
It's really nice.
That's nice.
So yeah, I am not disappointed by the haptic feedback. It's nice.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like stripping back some of the stuff that they did from Modern Warfare to Black Ops, like, I don't know, it's kind of, I feel better about it. I feel like the simpler a game, as much as that makes me sound like a fucking moron, the simpler the mechanics, the better I am at the game. Like, if there's, a good example is
Snake on your phone. Super good at Snake.
I'm really good at that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, once your snake gets really big, then it's like, wow, it's really complicated.
You gotta start
making
the ups and downs to just buy some time.
It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I just eat myself on purpose.
Yeah, you sure do, bud.
No, but like the translation from like Fortnite to any other battle royale game, for instance, if Fortnite, like the only games that I ever won in Fortnite. This was early on, obviously. Like I saw my cousin playing it, dude, and it's a completely different game.
Yeah, I've heard.
It is a different game.
I have heard.
So
they just fought Galactus.
Yeah, dude, and the
Mandalorian's in it now.
It's dope as fuck, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, when you just when you're just a company that's just buying the license to all of
Disney to Disney properties. Are you kidding me?
They're doing something. I mean, they're doing some really cool shit that, I mean, like I'm still not gonna play it. I'm not gonna jump back into that world.
It's cool to admire from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's really dope. So, but back when I was playing it, like I just couldn't build. I was terrible at building. And once that became the meta, where it was like, you can kind of suck at shooting, but if you can build, you can get the advantage because you can always give yourself the high ground.
You get the high ground.
And I couldn't do that. So right before everybody I encountered was good at building.
That was my Obi-Wan.
That was when that was your Obi-Wan?
I get the high ground. I just realized people listening may have thought I was yawning during saying that. I just wanted to clarify. You got the high ground. I've got the high ground. Sorry, please continue.
No, it was a wonderful Obi-Wan. So much that it just threw my.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, when it stopped, when it became the meta of the game, which really it didn't even become the meta. It became the primary focus of the game is making sure you could build quickly, and then that's part of the strategy of getting on top of people and improvising and then shooting them dead.
So right before that,
Yeah.
was when I won my only games.
Okay.
Because I like third-person shooters a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm good at them. And that was the only reason I was good at Battlefront. Because they gave you the option to do first-person or third-person.
Right.
And I'm really good at third-person shooters. And so that window of time where you could just be dog shit at building, but if you know, there was opportune moments and there was ways that you could play it, that you could survive to the end, kill like 3 or 4 people, sneak out a dub.
Yeah.
That was the only time I got wins. As soon as people were just and building skyscrapers,
Towers.
after that I was like, I can't play this game anymore.
Yeah.
And then I bailed. So that's pretty much that's a good representation of like once the skill tier goes too or it gets too complicated, I'm like, I just don't want to know all of these things. I want to just pick up the controller and win. So like Warzone is another example where there's the meta and then there's the mini meta within where it's like, don't use that game or don't use that gun. Don't approach a building this way. You can't go there. You can't drive this thing.
Learning the maps. And, yeah.
It's all that other shit where I'm like, nah, dude, just drop me in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You stand there, I stand here, and like the Civil War, we see who's still standing.
Yeah.
And I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I got
That's
decent
fun.
aim with my thumbs.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
But most games, it's not that simple.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
So
Yeah.
I mean we got to play a game of Warzone.
Of course. Yeah.
We should try to get as much as he would be against it because we're both terrible.
Yeah.
We should try to get Juan.
I know. He's the MVP. He's the one I'm thinking of.
And he wouldn't want to do it.
No. I played some World War II with him back in the day. And we had a good time. We had a very good time. I really miss what's it called? Prop hunt or something? Was it? Is that what it's called? Prop hunt? Something hunt?
No, I think it was Prop Hunt.
Yeah, so it's where you turn into.
You really like that game.
I love that game so much. If that was all they had on multiplayer other than like team deathmatch, sold. I love that game. I love it. I love it. You are disguised as a piece of the level, so like a couch or a lamp or a tree or a bucket, and your job essentially was to stay hidden as long as possible while a team of people go out and try to find you.
Yeah.
And shoot you. It's hide and go seek, essentially.
Yeah.
But anyway, had a lot of fun playing with him in the past. Shout out Juan. We should definitely try to get him in.
Yeah.
And play. And maybe we can stream. Maybe we can start streaming like
we're definitely gonna
we were threatening before.
We were threatening. Yeah, we definitely gonna do that. So, yeah.
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 But yes, I'll let you check out Call of Duty on the PS5 to see if there's any noticeable differences. I've heard the load times are pretty similar, unfortunately.
Which is kind of crazy.
I know.
You would think that wouldn't be the case.
Right. It doesn't seem to be the case for most other games on PS5.
Yeah.
With the SSD and stuff like that, but
yeah, I haven't I guess I didn't really ask you like the load times with Spider-Man.
Oh, super fast.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like the fucking advertised super fast load times.
Yeah, lightning quick.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay. You get me scared when you're touching wires.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, no, lightning quick. I even tried out the fast travel system, where you literally just pick like, all right, fast travel there. Literally 5 seconds.
Damn.
You pop right back up.
Fucking A.
I've been playing New Game Plus because I'm determined to platinum that game now. And I changed it over to performance mode.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I can't stop playing performance mode. I played the entire first playthrough in the pretty mode.
Yeah.
Which is great. It looked beautiful, but I don't know. It feels next gen when you play it in performance mode.
60 frames, baby.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
60 frames. Yeah.
If you squint, you're playing on a PC. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to get my hands on that PlayStation, so let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Should we talk about YMH?
Yeah, let's do that. I forgot that was going to be what we talk about my birthday. But
yeah.
We
then
switched
went off
gears.
into a tangent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, obviously, being podcasters, we're big.
I'm going to get us more whiskey.
Okay. As fans or as podcasters ourselves, we are fans of multiple podcasts, right? We do not mention most of them because they are our direct competition, and we're coming for that Joe Rogan money.
Not that we just talked about this about hip hop, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disparaging any of them. I'm just saying that we're the best podcast.
Of course.
So, I mean, we've been talking about YMH, Your Mom's House, Tom Segura, Christina Pajitsky, two incredible comedians, have a podcast. If you listen to podcasts, comedy podcasts, I just don't know how you don't know what Your Mom's House is. I mean, there's still, I'll still meet people out in the wild who don't know what it is, but
yeah, it's still weirdly enough, it still feels like a kind of a secret club.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely a being part of the fan base, and then you see what the fan base does, dude. Every time Garth Brooks posts something, I'll jump in there and just throw a little. You bet I'm coming up in May, or you guys are doing good, or moose soup, or something stupid in there.
Yeah. Lots of inside jokes.
Oh yeah.
Lots of indefensible content.
Yeah. So they've been doing this thing where they've been doing a live show, and it kind of spawned from the fact that a lot of the content on the podcast proper has been getting censored on YouTube to the point where they've been, YouTube's been demonetizing a lot of their episodes because they just kind of go crazy sometimes, right? And you can kind of, if you've been a fan of the show, you can kind of see the genesis of this idea where they're, one episode gets demonetized, another episode where they're like, oh, we can't play that clip because it's YouTube's censorship, and what are we supposed to do about this?
Well, and YouTube even will demonetize you if you talk about certain topics. You don't even have to show a clip. You just talk about a certain topic.
And we can talk about YouTube censorship. That could be an entire podcast talking about that, which it's insane.
Wild.
But what that has done has spawned YMH Live, where it's a pay-per-view podcast. And
so smart in a pandemic, by the way.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Incredibly smart. And the thing is, I mean, when they first started doing it, the one that we watched was the third episode. And when they first started doing it, I was kind of like on the fence because I'm thinking the pay for free content.
Yeah.
And how much of it do I really like? What is the incentive behind paying for something that they put out weekly for free.
Right.
I mean, I want to support, and we support by buying the merch and listening every week and,
Yeah.
Other little things. But, just the idea of paying for something like that, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I kind of, stayed away from it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Same.
But now it's become this thing where, I mean, they obviously made a ton of money from it because now they're ramping it up.
Mm-hmm.
And they did Two Bears, One Cave
Right.
Live, which is an offshoot show.
Yep.
They've done 3 episodes of YMH Live. I can only imagine that they're going to continue doing this to the foreseeable future.
I don't know if you listened to their most recent show on YMH, but they said that they're going to announce soon another like premium live show.
Okay, so there you go.
So they haven't said what it's going to be, but maybe it'll be like Christina's show live.
Yeah.
That's the only other like branch I can think of.
Or Dr. Drew.
Dr.
show.
Drew, yeah.
I can imagine him watching like some really
And like
fucked up
analyzing
medical stuff. Yeah.
medically what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if that wasn't foreshadowing enough, the basis of the show is everything that they've wanted to show on the proper show that they couldn't because of censorship. They go hog wild on these. And as fans, we've been debating on finally just coughing up the cash and going, let's see what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
So for Obi's birthday, I did. And Lord have mercy. Even kind of knowing what we were getting into, I was still didn't fully grasp.
Understand. Yeah. You made one of my birthday guests throw up.
Did she throw up because of that? I mean, it definitely didn't help.
Yeah, it was definitely partially.
I'm weirdly proud of that.
2 clips in, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I almost threw up a couple of times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me too.
I couldn't believe what they were. I couldn't believe what they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe it. I was. I mean, there was. Okay. I'm not going to describe any of them because it's just. This isn't a gross house show.
We don't want to get demonetized.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, suffice to say, we're 32.
Yeah. Right. You don't have to rub it in.
32.
Yeah, 30-ish. 30-ish.
30-ish.
Yeah.
We're both 30-ish.
In our early 30s.
That's good. We're both in our early 30s.
Yep.
It's 2020.
Right.
So believe that we are children of the internet.
Oh,
we have
yes.
seen some shit.
We've seen it all. Yeah.
And still,
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
If you guys ever played old Sega games like in the arcades, you know when the boss shows like a red flashing area that you got to shoot?
Yeah.
They hit that every single time.
Every time.
With all the clips.
Every single time.
But it's funny you say that because the one thing I left feeling other than nausea was I felt that same kind of like gross out rush of when you're like 15 and you and your friends are looking up stuff you shouldn't be looking up on the internet.
Yeah.
And like eating pizza rolls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I felt that same vibe watching it. Which was strangely nice.
Yeah.
Amid how gross everything was. And we're talking like sexually gross, we're talking violently gross,
medically gross.
Yeah. So it's definitely not for everyone.
And
It's probably not for anyone.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to think like we're not exaggerating.
Oh no.
I mean it's
please take heed.
Horrifying.
Yeah, do not take this lightly. We only watched it because we could handle it.
And honestly,
we still couldn't really handle it.
Yeah.
Still really couldn't handle it. Had to look away more than a few times.
Oh yeah. Dude, when you told me you get like nom like flashbacks.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be chilling and then like a flash of like,
oh God.
Oh, now that's in my brain forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever unclean.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's been happening to me all week.
Yeah.
But I think that the only reason why they can kind of get away with it, I feel, is the way that it's presented. And I feel like it's all presented in good spirit.
Yeah.
A lot of the clips are, go beyond the pale to say it lightly. But I think there's a childlike joy of seeing something absolutely repulsive together.
Yeah.
That is almost like watching a horror movie together.
Yeah.
Where it's gross and it's awful and it's horrible, but doing it in a group setting, I feel, is just fun and kind of builds a sense of collectiveness that is nice.
And they're all consenting adults. That's the other thing. It's nothing nothing to the point of like you feel uncomfortable. I mean, you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, you definitely feel uncomfortable.
It's a level of why are these people doing this?
Yeah.
Not why did he do that to her or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing is like nobody in those clips are like victims of anything.
Yeah.
They're all doing it themselves.
Yeah. I would say we're the victims.
Yes. They're victimizing us.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna watch with caution.
Yeah.
But
I suggest watching. So here's the thing. I was never one of those. I'm still not the kind of person who like. I'm not into like gross out stuff. Is funny to a point.
Hey, bro, you ever watch Faces of Death?
Dog. The only time I ever watched any of that shit was there's like a weird delay. Check. It's like it's delayed. It's
Everything's melting.
it's all coming apart, man. It's all coming apart.
The wheels have fallen off.
Anyway, the only time that I ever watched anything like that was my mom. Because she's a medical professional and like she's seen some shit,
right?
And so it would just be interesting to her. It wouldn't be like it would be Faces of Death. Really fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But I was never into stuff like that. I don't like gross out humor.
Yeah.
Really like sight gags in movies. They're real hit or miss. Like I get why American Pie is such a big deal because it was the first time they had really taken it to that frat boy gross out humor level.
Yeah, I mean they've been pushing it since the 80s. Revenge of the Nerds and
of course, but like American Pie was this. It was a level that was like, wow, they put that in a movie in the theaters.
Yeah.
Like he drinks cum at one point. Like that's a bit in the movie.
Yeah.
Like they push it.
They went out there, yeah.
And even that was not funny to me. I was like, that's fucking disgusting.
Right.
So even the fucking YMH shit was still, I was like, this is
unenjoyable.
Who does this?
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of those two guys, man. The guy who was holding him and he had his, and that's all I can think about. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
Get out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of me. So yeah, no, like to your point, it's almost childlike in its innocence of like it's like a child discovering porn or like some weird gross like a child understanding that gets a reaction,
right,
and then taking that to the nth degree.
Well, it's because they're not it's not like these it's not like they're psychopaths who don't understand. Okay, yeah, but it's not like they don't.
Tom is a psychopath.
It's true, but that's part of the bit. It's not like they don't understand that what they're showing is absolutely disturbing and gross, and that's part of the fun because they're suffering along with us,
right?
Which is part of it,
right?
So,
if they do a YMH4, I would say watch at your own risk, but watch it.
Yeah,
if you're one of those people who's like, you ever seen two girls, one cup? If you're that kind of person, this is right up your alley.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
We know a few people online who I'm sure will be more than happy.
All right. let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm done with this shit. So, tonight's brew was from Redlight Redlight. It is the Sour Plum Fairy. It was gifted to our great and powerful Obesius for his birthday, and it's something that I'm sure that they're very proud of, and so that's the reason that they're advertising, and it's also the reason that they're like, here, try this.
Yeah, it was one of their newest original beers that they had bottled. So.
Right. But it all comes down to, what does the one beer in think? And what does the one beer in think?
The one beer in thinks. We're not big sour fans here.
Mm-mm. That has been documented.
Yes. That being said, I really like this one. I really like it. I don't know if it's like the mix of the tartness with the plum kind of sweetness and then the cinnamon bite that work well together. But actually, I really like it. Yeah, I mean, if you absolutely hate sours, you're probably going to find this a bit too funky. But I think we've been around enough sours to have acclimated enough to accept this. And, you know, be open to the fact that it is pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
I'm also going to give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
I thought it was it was way it was way juicier than I thought it was going to be. Sours, especially something plum tasting, and then they talk about the hints of cinnamon, and you're like, this is going to go down like trash. But no, dude, they balanced it perfectly, and it honestly just tastes like juice. Mm-hmm. It just tastes like a tart juice.
Yeah.
I think they did an excellent job with this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5 also.
Nice.
So, I think that's all, right?
I think that's all.
I'm applying chapstick like lipstick.
That's cool. Couldn't wait 2 minutes
no,
until
I
we're
couldn't.
done with the show?
I mean, my lips have just been. I mean, it's probably caught on camera how much I've been like.
I mean, people can't see that.
Yeah, but you can.
All right, that's enough.
Would you fuck me?
My birthday was last week. You know?
I'd fuck me. Are we good though?
We're definitely good.
I know you're good now that you saw that.
I'm great.
Well, if Obesius thinks we're good, then this show's over. This has been the One Baron Podcast for myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Love you, Redlight Redlight.
Thank you guys for listening. Watch, like, subscribe.
Yeah,
Like, subscribe, share, wherever you get your podcasts. Drink delicious beer, and have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
And I fucking hate technology, dude.